This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
So if you know me at all on even a superficial level, most people know that I enjoy the occasional cigar. But, you know, I now have a family, 2 little boys, a wife, life insurance, getting policies that, because I could lie and say, hey, I don't smoke cigars. But as soon as they start their investigations, if I get cancer and die, they're going to find a reason, an excuse not to pay that out. And it's really expensive to, even at a young age, to buy term life policies for somebody that smokes, even the occasional cigar. But with Family Heritage, you guys have policies that cover everybody, whether you're low risk or high risk. Mind covering that briefly?
Yeah, of course. So the beautiful thing about it is whether you smoke or chew, whatever, habits you have that I would advise against, it doesn't count against you. You're still able to get the policy. It does not change the rate. We never increase rates either. So we have people that I can't even tell you, especially my arborists, how many accidents they've been in. Or my firefighters, my police officers. I mean, they're high risk people, right? Yeah. So you can file as many claims as you want. The claim never raises, and it doesn't increase due to the type of job you have or the type of habits
That's
you have,
huge.
Which is
That's
nice.
huge. Can you imagine, so many people are afraid to make a claim on their auto insurance or with their home because then it goes on the clue report.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, all the other carriers are going to jack up their rates because you're using the product that you're paying for, but you guys don't.
Which is normal, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, and they never cancel. There's no contracts. There's no fees. There's no enrollment periods. For business owners that set this up for their employees, they have complete autonomy. There's no minimum participation requirements. They can pay for it for the employees. They could not pay for it for the employees. They could do certain amounts or certain policies. A lot of, the construction companies or the shops or the mechanics, they'll do accident policies, for example, for everyone, because it helps with their retention. It helps attract and retain talent. It also helps lower their workman's comp claims because most people, 9 out of 10, just quick statistic, accidents happen off the job. 9 out of 10, right?
Wow.
So when do you think most workman's comp claims are filed?
Off the job.
Monday morning.
Oh, Monday morning.
Right? Because it happened on the weekend.
Oh, it happened, but they're claiming it happened at work.
Not because they're bad people, but because they don't know what they're going to do and they're scared and they need money and they're not going to be able to work and they know it. So they'll come in, they pretend it happened on the job. And if you know anyone that's worked in workman's comp, what does that do to the business owner's rate?
Increases it. Yeah.
And it's so sad because the employee is doing something they don't even realize to the business owner. And it also, with workman's comp, can you be at work? No.
Yeah, you can't work.
And there's months. I have a client right now going through it, and they can take, I forgot what the number was, but it's at least 90 days, if not more, to pay them. So you can go 3 months with no pay. I mean, the average American, that's not a good space to be in.
I have not one, but 2 family members who've been fighting workman comp issues for years. Like years and years and years and years. But if let's say the shop example had a policy for their employees, they can continue to work. You're saying the shop, would they still file a workman's comp, or
If it really legitimately happened at work,
yeah,
absolutely, they get paid from both.
But if it didn't,
they don't feel inclined to do so because they have us and they know they're going to get money from us. So then it takes away that pressure, that stress, and they won't do that typically to their owners.
And that person can. I mean, if they're physically able, they can go back to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, while still collecting or having collected the fees, the money.
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And so who this is good for, so why, so a dear friend, Frank Crandall, actually connected us, and he's like, Johnny, I don't do this often, but you need to talk to Jetta. You need to talk. When Frank says something, I lean in, I listen, and so we met, and you were honestly like an answer to prayer. Like Valerie and I were wondering, how are we going to, like if I get sick, if Valerie gets hurt, if something happens, how is the money going to continue to come in for not only our household, but the business, because the business employs more than just us. And so if we go down, it affects a lot of people. And I've been looking for answers. I've been looking for solutions. I hadn't found anything until I met you. And so if you are self-employed, if you are 1099, like this is something you should look into, because the rates are also crazy cheap. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but you did it based off the younger spouse.
We do. We try to save, the client money. They can add as many children as they want for a couple dollars. I mean, it's really inexpensive. Accident policies, just as an example. If you're, under 45, we're talking $14, $24, $40, $74 for the nicest policy where you get in an accident, you're hospitalized, you're getting $24,000 a month in income, a $3,800 kicker for an overnight stay, monies for x-rays, monies for surgery, money for physical therapy, money if you had a concussion. Everything's algorithm based and you're getting funds for every little thing on that receipt. Typically, I'll look at it and I have an idea of what the client will be paid. And it's always more than that because our underwriters are fantastic. They'll say, hey, just a question. Did they happen to do this? Send me that too. I can pay them for that. I have never in my life seen a company do that in insurance. I definitely felt the way you feel where they're finding reasons not to pay me.
Yeah.
And this company's like, can you get me more receipts? I'm like, wow, like this is amazing. This is what it should be. We should be trying to help these people. They're going through the hardest time in their life. Like your morning was fine this morning, but if something happens to your health, everything changes, right? Like the people going on with the fires right now. If your house burns down today, guess what? All those things you were worried about this morning, they're not important anymore, right? What's important is your health and your livelihood.
Well, speaking of that, you guys offer policies for firefighters too.
We
right?
do. And it's firefighter month right now, January.
I didn't know that.
National. Yeah. We have a big awareness. So if you go, we're a McGrew agency. If you check on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, we just posted something about it, but firefighters, crazy statistics on just how much more likely they are to have things happen, right? They're exposed to so much smoke inhalation and these guys are risking their lives. If an accident happens on the job, something happens to them, they're covered, right? On or off. It's no type of exclusion for them, which is incredible. So all these, brave men and women right now that are out there helping with this huge life-threatening event, if something happens to them and they're our client, 1,000% taking care of them.
That's so cool. And I like the fact that policies don't go up. So quick question, like on a more personal note. So Valerie and I, we're paying a premium, right? Is that locked in for a period of time or does it go up as we age? Like how does that work?
It doesn't. So it's the same price for life unless you change it. So you have the capacity to raise or lower as a client.
So we pick the highest.
So nowhere to go from that. No, just kidding.
Okay.
Actually, after 6 months, you can double up on a lot of your policies. So I have my affluent clients that want more than the top tier.
Yeah.
So after 6 months, we actually do have the capacity to stack policies.
Okay.
But it's nice because any client, once you've been here for 6 months, you can raise it to whatever you want and you can decrease at any time. And we cover catastrophic events. We covered COVID. I had clients that were in ICU, just as an example, for 2 months. At the Elite policy, that's $84,000. A lot of them, that was their salary for the year. They coasted on it for the rest of the year, and they were only in ICU for 8 weeks. That is life-altering, and that is our least expensive policy. ICU is not an expensive policy. Like, I think that starts at $3.80, right? For 30 and under. It's just not expensive and it's life altering. I can't express it enough. You're putting money towards yourself if you don't use it.
Yeah.
And if you need it, this will be the most important podcast you have ever listened to. So
it could change your life.
If your income fluctuates, like if you're in real estate, how do you guys figure that out?
Yeah. So it's all algorithm based and you choose based on what you want to put towards it per month. So just as an example of those accident policies, if you were, doing the $14 policy versus the $24 policy a month versus the $40 versus the $74 income, you got in an accident, you're in the hospital, how much money are you getting every month? Daily, that's $100 a day, $200 a day, $400 a day, or $800 a day. Monthly, that's $3,000 a month, $6,000 a month, $12,000 a month, or $24,000 a month. So that's not tied to how much you make. You could have someone that, only makes $60,000 a year. They put $74, which is a pizza, right? Or 2 pizzas these days. And they could be getting that $24,000 in income and they don't make that in real life, but they need that because they're not only going to be replacing their income. What if something happened to their child? They might be replacing both incomes. And you don't know how much the hospital and your insurance is not going to cover. They don't know how much the co-payments are going to be, the outpatient charges, the deductibles, anything that's not covered.
Yeah.
So they don't know how much money they're going to
So to
need.
answer your question, Matt, it depends on the tier policy
That you purchase. It's not directly tied.
And these aren't
you can
crazy
choose.
numbers. And
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're not expensive because I've shopped, right, trying to figure this out for Valerie and myself, and your prices blow everything out of the water. Mm-hmm. And what's really cool is oftentimes people who are older maybe haven't paid for long-term disability or don't have that, can't pay for a life insurance policy because they're considered more high risk. But you guys insure people who are even older, right?
We do. So in the state of California, it's up to age 65. So you need to be 64 under, or loophole, married to someone, right? Under 65.
So my pops is going to qualify for a long time.
There you go. And then if you're in any other state, if they visit another state, you don't have to live there, but other states do go up to higher ages, many
above
up to
65.
80. Yeah, a lot of them go up to 80.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of surrounding states. Nevada as an example.
Is Nevada up to 80?
Mm-hmm, it is, yeah. And so a lot of us are licensed in multiple states, and if we're in Nevada, in Tahoe, in Arizona, in some of these other states, we can sell up to, that age bracket.
So if you're listening and you're thinking, hey, you know what? I wish I would have done this. I'm now 60, 55, whatever it is, but the prices that I'm seeing just aren't making sense right now. Mm-hmm. I would suggest you reach out to Jenna and just, figure out what that would look like for you with Family Heritage. What's the best way for them to do that?
My cell phone number is 530-619-9100. Call or text. You can also email me. It's jenna@northernstarsfinancial.com.
And of course, you can just reach out to us, Made for More Realty. Say, who was that lady that was saying she'd give away money? We know who to connect you with. That's madeformorerealty.com.
Absolutely. And the return of premium checks are huge. So I have personally handed out, I can't tell you how many. And if you go to McGrew Agency on any of those sites, you can see us passing out live checks to people that have been our clients for 25 years and are getting that money back now.
Yeah, I don't think we covered that clearly. So basically, if you've been paying your premium, what's my premium? Do you know off the top of your head?
Oh gosh, total?
Yeah.
$100, $400
I think it's 400. Is it 400? So I'm paying $400 for Valerie and I. And for everything, like this is we bought everything Jen had. We bought it all.
Top tier.
We're top tier.
Fancy.
And insurance fancy. And so it's $400 a month. And if we pay that, it's the next 25 years, right? Mm-hmm. At the end of 25 years, we start getting that money back.
All of it.
Right? All of the money.
Lump sum.
Lump sum.
Plus any claims paid. You got it.
Plus any claims paid. We get that money back after 25 years. So whether you make a claim or whether you don't make a claim, you're not really losing your money in this situation.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. Yeah. So, literally.
Seems too good to be true.
It does seem too good to be true.
And they don't touch each other either. So if you did get in a huge accident, we paid $150,000 on that accident policy, but you did not use your other policies, you still get the funds back on the other three. So you would get the $150,000 in claims you were paid plus whatever you put into the other three policies.
See, so
pretty awesome.
Yeah. So just for a disclaimer, I am not paid to have Jenna on the show. This is not like Johnny's getting a discount or something over here. Like this is something that I've heard the stories and I've seen firsthand the beneficiaries of products like this. And that's why, as soon as Frank told me about it, I was like, we gotta do it. We offered it to our agents. If you're an agent, if you're a real estate agent, you're like, hey, what would happen? Maybe you're the sole provider for your household, and so some works may provide programs like this. But if you're self-employed, if you're a realtor, and you're like, hey, if I go down, there's no more money coming through the doors. You need to reach out to Jenna. So please, please, please. This is not like this isn't a money grab. This isn't anything like that. This is just people helping people. That's why Jenna's on the show today.
You got it.
So, and thank you so much for being on the show. It's been a joy having you.
I love these stories that come out of the Made for More Realty office and Johnny Jennings. For instance, there was this lady who was wanting to help her mother sell her home. Her mother was aging, needed to move into an assisted living facility, and so they didn't have a lot of time. Obviously, they needed the money, and Johnny Jennings came in with a lot of compassion and care and understanding, didn't want them to worry about anything, was able to sell this young lady's mother's home in a record amount of time and for a fantastic price, brought them so much relief. In fact, when it came to sell this young lady's home, in addition to her mother's, Johnny Jennings was able to help her as well, and they were just so grateful. There's a reason why, the Johnny Jennings and Made for More Realty team have almost 1,000 five-star Google reviews, while they were voted number one in Roseville the past 3 years. So if you're looking to sell your home, someone you can trust, obviously we know that that's important, reach out to our good friend Johnny Jennings. In fact, listen to this. They've got this program where they guarantee to get you at least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. That means no staging, no open houses, no costly needed repairs done. Just bam, 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. So here's what you do. You Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty today and get more for your home. Again, Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. It'll be one of the best decisions you make in your life.